Welcome back, guys, to LGTV. And I'm here with my fellow co-hosts,
Karl, Neil,
and Earl Simms.
and we're the loose gays.
And we are the loose gays. We're not that loose. Some of us are, honey. But not all of us.
Depends what you mean by loose.
Ooh.
Well, let's not talk about
Let's
earlier.
not go there. Let's not go there. I wanted to talk about, obviously, with the current climate, with having to self-isolate and be at home, that sort of thing for people out there. I've got into brutal decluttering of the home. Figuring out ways of getting rid of things that I've been looking at for months or years, storing or keeping this because I might need this or whatever. I mean, I just want to share it with other people, basically, how sort of, I think cathartic is the right word I'm looking for, and cleansing, and how it sort of opened up so many sort of other avenues for me once I started getting rid of stuff.
But once you start getting into decluttering, it becomes like an obsession, I think.
Yeah.
Because it feels good.
Yeah.
Once you get over the initial hurdle of doing it.
And it is a hurdle, right? Because you think,
Because we're conditioned to believe that the more stuff we have, the more secure we are. And actually, it's like I feel now like having stuff is like building myself into a corner. Like it's like I just feel trapped by it.
Yeah.
I don't want stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Well, also, you know what's interesting is because the time of year it is right now, a lot of people tend to have a bit of a spring clean,
Right.
don't they? So it's almost like, but a lot of people just go, oh, fuck it, I can't be bothered.
And we're bougie. We have cleaning
Oh,
ladies.
we're bougie.
But the thing is, the cleaning lady, she's not going in the cupboard and cleaning out the dust in the cupboard. So that's what we start noticing this time of year.
Yeah.
When the light changes and the atmosphere changes and the viruses come.
Yeah.
There's dust in the back of that cupboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
Stuff you actually look at and you're like, this has been sitting here forever.
Yeah. I've got 2 bathrooms, as you know, in my
Right.
flat, which sounds grander than it is. But there's 2 big, massive bathroom cabinets on the walls and also cupboards. And since we've been isolating a bit, I've cleaned out those cupboards and the amount of product. I mean, I'm obsessed with products, as you know. There's stuff in there, and you're a bit like, this bottle of, like, you know, eye gel or this serum or this toning lotion that was 120 quid. You know, or what someone sent it to me, or I bought, and it's like, you're like, well, how old is it, and does it still work? Can you still use it? It's like, it's that thing. Because some of the stuff I threw out was used, and I knew I wasn't going to use it. But even then, I get a bit clingy with things because I'm like, oh, I like to have all those. I don't even use that brand anymore. What's the brand called? That's it's quite medical. And they do like a really good sort of scrub, and we all used to use it. Dermalogica.
Yes.
So I got all this Dermalogica stuff. I think I got sent it, and I'm never going to use it because I don't use that brand. And it's just, but I just like to have it. It's like a security thing.
Yeah. But like you say about being conditioned into feeling like, oh, the more stuff you have, it's better.
And I've definitely got that with beauty products.
And I know for some people, it probably seems, you know, like we get sent stuff, but some people are probably going to sit there watching this going, well, I never get sent anything. But then, you know, I think the thing is, people who don't get sent stuff normally buy things because we are a world of consumers, aren't we?
100%.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know I like to buy things. I mean, I have a bit of an online shopping obsession, if I'm really honest. You know,
Thanks for sharing that with
I
us.
probably don't keep Amazon in business. But at the same time, I think it's important to not overbuy, and I think at this time, especially right now, what's really important is, for example, I know there's food banks, but there's also beauty banks.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I
things,
think it was Maxine told me, or Maxine Leonard, or someone told me, keep those products and send them to this place because they can give them to homeless people.
Yeah, and I'll have it.
But
It's
I'm a
going
little
along
bit-
the screen now, guys. The place.
But that the only thing that made me slightly nervous is I wasn't aware whether the products still were okay or not. I don't know.
Well, some of them it depends. Yeah, I mean, a lot of
some of them are
products-
sealed.
Yeah. But a lot of products only have a certain shelf life.
Yeah,
Well, every
exactly.
product has a shelf life,
Yeah.
but some it's longer than others.
Yeah.
But
Depending on
there's
what
a
the
bank
ingredients
for
are.
everything: products, food, clothing.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. Even electricals.
Yeah.
If they have decent electricals.
I mean, when I
They have-
moved 2 years ago, or no, 3 years ago now, I mean the amount of clothes that I couldn't get rid of the clothes. The only places that I could, the charity shops were difficult to leave them with, so I was taking stuff to those, you know, those charity dumpsters. They have them. They've got them near the park.
Yeah.
And you can put shoes, electrical
Yeah.
appliances, clothes.
Yeah.
But even then, they didn't empty them enough, so you'd go and you couldn't put anything in them.
Yeah, they'd be full.
Yeah,
they're always
and it
full.
was literally like, I think it's a sign, because I had so many things that, I mean, I kept the things that were precious or that I obviously might be valuable or whatever. But a lot of it was stuff I was like, really? And then you think to yourself, I'm one person moving and decluttering, and I've got literally 40 trash bags of stuff. That's one person. No wonder. I think the thing is, the reason why these dumpsters for clothes, the charity dumpsters are full, is because people don't want the clothes. Like, they can't even send them to places where there are famines and stuff, because there's too many clothes, and there's just too many clothes. Full stop.
Right.
Like, we need to stop it. So I think this is maybe another thing that comes out of this whole virus situation, is realizing you got too much shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That was what pushed me.
Well, I don't know whether you guys know, but I worked on that campaign last year for Oxfam called Secondhand September, which was about, the plan was to make sure that people didn't try to get people to not to buy anything for the whole month of September, and just upcycle or recycle what they already have.
Right.
And you know, it's such a great thing. People like Oxfam and what they do with stuff like that. It's kind of, and I think, you know, it's good right now that if you have got products or clothes or anything like that, and you're having a clear out whilst you're at home doing bugger all, think about where potentially you could take stuff to.
Yeah, where you can take stuff to, or if you can pass it on to, you know, the correct
Failing
way.
that, sell it on eBay and make a bit of cash.
which
might not
which I
work
find
for
the most frustrating process in the world, but I think you're good at
I've
it.
never done it.
I'm quite good at it. I
Yeah.
sell certain things on there.
Yeah.
I've never
And you
done
have to be in the mood to do it.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the same time, I think it's like, again, it's stopping people buying new stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a version of upcycling.
Yeah.
But you also make a bit of cash.
Yeah.
And you can and right now we all need a bit of cash because no one's working.
I mean, I think I'm lucky. I'm glad that now we've reached a point where things have to change for so many reasons. But I'm glad in a way that I'm older now, and I have, in terms of clothes, I mean, I wear the same things. I've got my uniform now. I wear the same kinds of t-shirts. I wear the same kinds of jeans. I wear the same kinds of sweaters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll buy I'll spend money on a nice coat every winter. That's where I'd rather spend money on one thing and then the rest of it just reuse.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel a bit sorry for younger people, because I think when you're younger, you want to experiment more and try different things, and you don't really know who you are, and you're finding your look. And so that's why you buy a lot. I mean, the high street was popular when I was a teenager. You know, there was Chelsea Man and Top Man and all of that then, and we bought a lot of shit that we didn't really, or we did wear or we didn't wear or whatever. It didn't matter.
But also, you're out, you're clubbing, you're
Yeah.
doing whatever.
So I feel a bit sorry for people that
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to prove myself. I've found my uniform now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm exactly the same.
I think that, you know, I'd rather buy like a James Purse t-shirt that's really ridiculously expensive, but then I wear it for 6 years, and they get better with age.
But one of the good things with the high street now, though, is that a lot like H&M do it, where you can take your old clothes. And they do recycling, and I think Marks and Spencers do it as well.
Really?
They were. They
I wonder if Primark do it.
They should do.
Because they're the biggest culprits.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I've never
Is
been
that
a
fast
fan.
fashion?
I've never been into the shop because I can't.
Is that
connect
known
with
as
it.
fast fashion, places like that?
Well, a lot of them are.
Yeah.
They're all known as fast fashion.
Right.
I mean, that's a kind of generic term for clothes that are ridiculously are mass produced.
But I think it's important right now, the whole thing about,
Yeah.
you know, if you've got stuff from H&M, take it in there and recycle.
I mean, a lot of it is made in places like China, India, and they're seeing, like, since the virus has come in, they're seeing like huge, like the skies are literally clearing because the factories haven't been working.
Right.
And these are factories where they, they produce fabrics, they dye cotton, they do all this stuff on a massive industrial level. So it's the amount of healing that probably would have happened just in that short space of time where there's not all the chemicals and smog and fumes being pumped into the air is probably quite considerable.
Well, they've said, haven't they? Right now, it's the cleanest the air's been in years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for anybody who's into climate change, this is a good thing.
We're getting all serious on this podcast.
I know.
Well,
It's
we're
not
covering-
a podcast, is it?
No, it's not a
It's
podcast.
YouTube.
It's LGTV.
I'm more of a podcast boy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, going back to the decluttering, all of that stuff, you're covering all these things, which is great.
Yeah.
But going back to what I felt, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel, and I'm sure you felt it, because you've moved and you've had to change things around, is how light it makes you feel. It's like you let stuff out, you get rid of stuff, you clear in energy, basically.
Yeah.
But what you realise is having all this stuff doesn't make you happy.
No, it does not.
No.
And you can't take it with you.
No.
We're
doesn't.
gradually more aware of our own mortality.
Yes.
Not that we're old, but we've only got we've done half of our lives, if not more. By
I don't
now.
know about you, girl.
Whoa, sorry.
I don't know about you,
But we don't. The thing
Earl's
is,
planning to get his letter from the Queen when he's 100.
I remember I read a book once, and the person who wrote it was like really against having possessions. Can't remember who it was, and they said they feel really uncomfortable if they have more possessions than it would take to pack up in 30 minutes. It's almost like being a
Fabulous.
like being a tortoise or a snail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for that. But I think we still, because we live
Listen,
in this materialistic
yeah, and
culture, we still protect ourselves with things,
Yeah.
possessions.
Yeah.
They're comfort blankets.
Yeah,
literally.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because I've gone from being, I suppose, long time ago, a hoarder, to now being quite monk-like.
Yeah.
I'm just minimal. I'm like, I don't need all those plates. I haven't got, I'm not entertaining in a one-bedroom flat, 7 people, 10 people, 8,
Yeah.
I'm just like, have a few people around,
Yeah.
Just sit on the floor and be cute.
I'm definitely going to do decluttering throughout this whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
situation. Even if you just do one drawer or one cupboard a day.
Exactly. It could be just one
Sometimes
drawer.
you just say to yourself, right, I'm only going to, don't put pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this bathroom cabinet. And then you're like, well, I quite enjoyed that. I'll do the next one. You know what I mean? I want to do my socks.
That's a really good way of
do-
doing it. Like
Yeah.
a small cupboard or a small drawer.
Yeah.
Because I do the...
And then you really do it properly.
Yeah.
Rather
go
than go,
through
right,
it.
I'm going to do the whole
Yeah,
house in
yeah.
2 days. No.
You put too much pressure.
Yeah.
Because I've done it.
Limit your expectations.
Yes.
Exactly. So, message in this episode is recycle, upcycle, get rid of all your shit that you don't
That
need.
you don't need.
Especially in this time where lots of people are worried about mental health
Yeah.
and how they're feeling, personally,
Yes.
being isolated and everything else. Decluttering is always good to declutter the mind.
It's like a memory bank. Clear it up.
And then after the coronavirus...
Delete, honey, delete.
And then I think I might go for the proper decluttering of the mind and do therapy. That's one thing I'd love to start doing. I've never done it.
What therapy?
I've done
You've
mine.
done it.
Yeah, I want to. Once
I did all that.
this is over, I'm going to start decluttering,
Yeah.
going deeper.
Yeah. So yeah, that was. I think we covered that. That's great.
All right. See you on the next one.
Bye.